Hi. So, I'm doing reading today. I got water on my shirt from drinking just now. Um, Reading just on random general life. Again, I don't have anyone specific to do this for yet, so maybe someone finds it and it moves for them, maybe not. This is the Wisdom of the House of Night cards. It's based on a book, I believe, like a fantasy books about Nyx and vampires and all this or that. Okay, so we have listening in reverse. So someone is not listening to someone or something in a situation. Someone's refusing to listen to see something as it is and as it should be. Someone or something that doesn't belong where or as it is. So something doesn't belong where or something doesn't belong as it is. Fragmented. So I don't know what the opposite of fragmented could be. There could be fragments. Something fragmented, shattered. The opposite of fragment, what would that be? I don't know. Something whole or something part of whole. Maybe something made up of. Okay, maybe it's like a Frankenbeing, like something made up of a bunch of different things that is not itself. So rather than being fragmented, it's someone stealing or taking fragments to make a whole that's not supposed to be a whole. Like finding different puzzle pieces and fitting them together in something that shouldn't be. So we have someone who's very much not individual. They're like, we have to do this or that and like the same as everyone else. Blah blah. It's like you have to do things normal. You have to do this or that because everyone else does. Everyone else did it. We have the rising moon and the setting moon. Okay. We have someone who is coming into contact with a lowly spirit. We have someone who doesn't feel a lot of value or a lot of self-worth in themselves, so someone needs to have more self-worth. Someone who has a lack of vision or has lost their vision. Someone doesn't have enough defensive walls or barriers built up against someone else or something. High priestess of air, so there could be omens or wisdom or intuition of air present at this or that time. And movement. So something should be moving forward and going on and getting done. Moving forward in a situation of this or that, maybe moving from one place to another. Something's moving. I'm just gonna get the first one. Dragon Lesson. This is Dragon Magic by Laura Kandish. Okay, so there are times when we dragons have been so fierce that we have become fearful. I want you to hear this knowledge or acknowledge this, to recognize what does not belong with you, if any longer it is to free yourself. So, something that doesn't belong with someone, or something that doesn't belong to someone. So someone could have taken something that belongs to someone, something has something that doesn't belong to them. It doesn't belong to them as well. And a lot of people, these dragons, have been aggressive in this situation before and have become feared because they've got aggressive. Dragon claws. We dragons have faced resistance, but we do not give up. We hold on until finally we break through barriers. Hold fast, human child. Take from us the strength you need and surge forward. It's an interesting one. It's a cool little one. It's got like a little symbol on the back. That'd be a pretty cool tattoo too. Okay, as for being whole or not being a whole, or someone trying to make themselves up with parts of something they're not, so in or relation to the fragmented, someone might be trying to make a Frankenstall or a Franken look like someone's trying to steal all these things, these parts of these things from another. They're trying to steal their stories, they're trying to steal their results and their efforts, they're trying to steal this or that from a bunch of different people and changing them to be something they're not supposed to be. So like they look like a bunch of different people together, and all these people look the same when they're all supposed to look different. We cannot enter into alliance with our neighbouring princes until we are acquainted with their design. We are not fit to lead an army on the march unless we are familiar with the face the country that has. its mountains and forests, its pitfalls and precepts, its marshes and swamps. Friendship makes you rich beyond measure. I need a better camera. If words of command are not clear and distinct, if orders are not thoroughly understood, then the general is to blame, but if his orders are clear and the soldiers disobey, then it's the fault of their officers. Reason over power. In an argument, the most determined, loudest, or nastiest contestant may win, with little reason involved. To use the influence over power to win is harder. Someone highly skilled at using indirect methods will win without the adversary even knowing there was a fight. To do this, you need to understand the situation better than the others to get reasoning into play. And get to the root of the problem. If someone is unaccountably angry with you, think about what it might be. They might be maintaining deceitful appearance and are angry about something that has nothing to do with you. Gently try and find out what it is. They may well grab the chance, your reward, and theirs. They will get to the root of the problem so it can be sorted out. Someone might be angry at someone. It could be something to do with like a theft of the soul, body, a theft of the beauty, a theft of the body, a theft of mind, a theft of power and abilities. The different measures suited to the 9 varieties of the ground, the expediency of aggressive or defensive tactics, and the fundamental laws of human nature. These are things that most certainly can be studied. Okay, partnership. So, someone is going to come into a partnership with someone's enemy. Someone who may be noble or may be considered noble or could have been noble. Someone who does like to play. And someone who either likes or possesses magic. This person is a guardian, the larger bear and the smaller bear. And you're going to find someone being in this situation is going to be very assertive and defensive. Someone is keeping some secrets. So someone in this situation definitely knows about things they're not saying, and they're very much keeping secrets, like the lynx. Regeneration. So someone who lacks in regeneration. Someone who is without regeneration or regenerative healing. Okay, so we're getting a shaman or a shamanic being who lacks foresight. An ancestor, somebody's ancestor is going to be setting boundaries. And it's going to be to do with a spirit of love. So someone who is very love-based and kind, based on love and compassion and many things. Okay, so we have a spirit of a broken family, or a spirit with lack of family or had no family. So there is no family spirits in some situation. Someone might be claiming a spirit is from their family spirit, but it is not a family spirit. They could have trapped a poor soul. They could have stolen someone's spirit and used it to do this, or that, or stolen their spirit. They could have tried to bound someone's magic and beauty and blessings and gifts to their soul or spirit. And then when they did this, they've just removed this and bound it to themselves and linked to themselves, and they're seeing it and sharing it, and it's not a family spirit even though they say it is. We have a spirit of destruction. So there's a very destructive being in this. There was a tale in our family of someone who was in the family who someone was adopted into one of our relative things family. This man was named Jordan. He was a white man, but we in this family thing, our family people had gifts. Some of us were healing, and this Jordan guy was adopted, and he turned out to possibly be a fairy. And he was adopted, and he chose to go down a path of destruction. So he's like, oh, I want to be able to break things with my mind, or make people fear me and be so powerful, and this or that. But when they went into the path of destruction, they found that many of the people would go to the healer of the line, and the healers, the naturally born, naturally gifted healers in the line. So when they did this, he was like, oh, I'm going to get a skin change and make myself into a black person so I can say you're being racist because I'm black. I know it sounds like a weird story, but it's a story. And they also said, I know where our tomb of ancient demons is because my fairy book said this or that. So I'll unleash a tomb of ancient demons on this world unless you give us the healing and this or that, because I want people to go with me and respect me and need me and want me and worship me and pay me and this or that. I was like, no. And then, this person in particular has also tried to go and work with demons, because people in this family line, us as well, have been approached by a certain demon or demonic figure who says, like, some of us already naturally possess the gift of healing, but they said, oh, if you want healing, we'll give you healing. It will just take the strength of your line. And I was like, no, fuck that. We have our strength because we earned our strength because it was God-given, and I already possess healing. And then eventually, I don't know if it was to do with this Jordan person because they want to make it, but I guess they're not actually from the line because they were adopted, so they can't actually make this deal without someone else in the family doing it. And then one day, all of our strength started disappearing, our health started disappearing, and these healing gifts also started disappearing. So I think someone in the line has made this deal for this healing gift and possibly even worked with this person to give some of it back to this person as well. So I'm not sure who has stolen these healing things, starting with the ability to physically heal things, which in this story was to do with a very dark place. It kind of looks like the one featured in the TV show of Naruto as well, the dark place, and they were going to cut a bunch of innocent people into pieces and kill them out, like, you want these innocent people to die, you're going to save them, blah blah, and they used it. So they've drained these gifts, like they tried to turn someone by like mixing all these parts together in the weird Franken thing, and they stole or drained all these healing abilities and energies and stuff, and fed up with the young ones or the ones gifted with healing and this and that in order to try to get it. And they stole the healing gifts and they stole this or that, and they tried to steal all these different gifts because they were angry that they were warriors or destructors, because they had a natural affinity for this and that, or they had this one in particular. Some of these people in particular in this situation had chosen to go down a certain path and they were unhappy with their choices, so they tried to take it out on everyone, steal these things from everyone, and bring destruction about in order to make these things happen to everyone. Not saying one of these ladies involved is such an evil lady now that she tries to curse people to need to consume innocence, or that she turns people, she like cuts people's organs out and does weird witchcraft on them and tries to turn them into cocaine and snort it. But yeah, she puts cocaine in people. Dancer of Lies in reverse. So the opposite of her Dancer of Lies. What's the opposite of dancing? Dancing, singing, speaking. And the opposite of lies is truth. Unless obviously someone in this situation, in this story, was lying. But the opposite of a dancer of lies, it could still be a dancer, but a dancer of truth. Someone who dances the truth is doing the dance of the truthful things in life. I don't know if that's how these cards work, but maybe. Okay. Now we have the Shaman's Dream. Okay, so for overall, we have a beloved or radical acceptance, like a beloved being who's kind of accepted. Okay, so someone dancing on the foot but in reverse. Someone is bringing imbalance to the world. Someone who looks at skin deep surfaces. So someone who looks skin deep rather than looking what truly lies within someone. Okay, so falling angel, but in reverse, we have the opposite, so an ascendant. Blue girl, the disowning self, the part of someone's self that they have accepted, and people are leaving this person inside. Sky Bridge, Falling Earth. So I don't know what the opposite of Sky Bridge is, but whatever you take into account for that could be a thing. So let's see. I'm getting in the reversal. This is leading to a very, very bad place. So someone who's on a path to a worse place. And some of these people involved are the opposite of the fool's embrace. So a wise person embracing them. The opposite of eye of the needle. So a needle is kind of like a thorn, right? So maybe it could be the heart of the thorn. And a joyful muse. A not so joyful depression. So someone was very lacking in joy and steeped in depression when they did these things and these actions to steal from these beings, and also that like could stole their heart, their love, their beauty, their voice, their energy, their attraction, this or that, and it's going to come back on them horribly if they don't fix it. Okay, so we have the opposite of a magician's sword, so there's going to be a warrior's sword there. And an empty well, so a well that is replenishing. A well that is replenishing. But onto someone's well or someone's energy or being replenishing. I don't think you should. Shouldn't really have to do that unless it's supposed to. You know what I mean? If you steal this well and you use it for yourself and what you want to do with these people, you're not going to have enough for the whole townspeople unless you ration it right. And if this person was the guardian of this well, given this well, possess this well, they know when and where to use it in order to make the best option for everyone to get something from it. Okay, so I'm going to try to make a story from this. I don't really know these cards too well, but from this, so we're getting a woman who is of the earth and the trees, or a green woman or a green lady, like an earthly woman, a woman of earth. A woman of earth who lost gifts or lost the rights to gifts. An attractive man and a sacrifice. So something to do with an attractive man getting sacrificed. And I'm getting, they cut them here and here and took out attractive man bits from this man, and they cut the attractive man here and here in form or of a sacrifice. I'm seeing something with red wings in reverse, bringing out the balance. So they found something, got something brought in, or something got brought in. Okay, so some of these people, it's also about healing. This person feels healing, someone feels healing. Someone was trying to manifest their desires, but they were at a blockage and they were unable to manifest their desires in this person, because this person was like a holy or anointed or a good being who had a resistance to this, and they were not very happy about it because they wanted it but they couldn't have it. Okay, and someone who's trying to use like the ability to weave, to unweave things. So someone's trying to undo things that are supposed to be done as well. So someone could be weaving something into existence, trying to manifest their desires, but someone could be trying to unweave things that naturally were. They could be trying to destroy someone's attractiveness. They could be trying to undo someone's gifts or this or that because they're not happy that they have it, because they're purely jealous. And these persons could have had the opportunity or the gifts or the blessings to do something like this or their own in life, but they chose a different and bad path, and it led them down a different path, and now they're just filled with hatred and trying to ruin everyone else. Okay, so something that is not of golden, the opposite of golden, something that envies the golden beings and wants to be golden beings, and they're trying to achieve the strength of being a golden being, but they are not themselves golden. Someone is quite wise and or deceitful, whether or not they're good or bad in this situation. So a wise man guards them or this person. Okay, so someone is trying to undo a natural balance and undo a natural balance and order in life and the universe. Okay, so there's wounds in this person, but this person's just unfazed, sitting there unfazed. So someone is quite strong and quite resistant and resilient, and these people are just going and harming and like trying to hurt this being. They're trying to steal from this being. They're placing a sigil there. There's like a protection thing. They're trying to hurt or harm or destroy this person by stealing something from within them. But this person is quite unfazed because they're still not intimidated by this other people. You know, they could have been more intimidating than they're given credit for. Okay. We have someone who's trying to corrupt or taint water that was purified. So this is a story that relates to me as well. Someone could have purified water or used a purifying touch on water that could be purified or good, purified to holy water, and someone's trying to attempt to corrupt it, but this corrupted water is going to have blood in it. Eventually, like they might be trying to corrupt it with some blood and this or that, but they're going to purify it anyway, just purely with their blood. And some of these beings, it could also represent being naturally born something and like coming into something as a ritual and getting power from something. So like they're going up against the real natural ones, kind of like thinking making something without its essence or energy would make it no more, but if they were truly without all that, then they would die because they are actually that, not just calling on or embracing the embodiment of it. Okay, so we have something shielding something. We have scaled wings. Scaled wings acting as a shield. So someone's going to embrace or protect something. Okay, and the next one is in fact an embrace and a connection. But what are they truly after in this embrace? They're embracing a connection, but they don't see what they're truly after in this situation. Okay. We have a woman adorning a fox. And we have a potion brewing. Someone brewing a potion or a cauldron, stirring many things from the earth and the universe into a cauldron to gaze and wonder. So someone's trying to create or make something with a cauldron. They could be trying to make a baby or get a baby or call upon a baby in a cauldron, and they're sending this baby or child somewhere. Okay. And we have someone to do with a fiery dragon wrapping itself around the lunar cycles of the year. So fiery dragon, a dragon of fire, a dragon made of fire or flames, adorning the lunar new year and wrapping and encircling like the calendar in the year. We have a very wise water-based demonic being trying to protect or hold or grab a heart. So they're trying to keep this heart guarded. For what reason for, we don't know. And we have an older, deceitful woman wearing a mask that looks like a mask, but it's physically actually something. So someone could be looking like something, but actually they have like stolen something's face and they're wearing something's face, literally. Like a mask made out of someone's real face. Like, so there's some flesh-wearing people, very deceitful. I don't know if it's going to be a young one, if they're going for a young one, because they're unable to defeat the old ones. Maybe it was, maybe it wasn't. But the mask was made out of real fur. So maybe someone is trying to switch something out also, making people, or this person or that person, think it was something it was not. Okay. And we have a woman with golden flowing hair and two cats. Maybe one of them is a fox, one of them is a cat, looking at a lotus and over a lotus situation, and they might be quite disgusted and intrigued at the same time. And then we have a three-faced being with an eagle face, blue eyes, and they're gazing upon the stars, or able to gaze upon the stars, so they're kind of stargazing. Yeah. Okay, so we have a woman, a very smug woman, flowing something into a vase. Flowing and putting something in a vase or a jar and placing it in there. Is it supposed to come from there? Okay. So we have someone dancing in a happy situation and a flower nearby, but it looks like someone's distracting someone with happy times and situations while they try to acquire or steal something like a blue flower or the energy. We have someone who is then going to flow the energy and the things trapped. Flow these things back into the universe in the rightful places. Okay. And there's an angel or an angelic being or just someone with the wings of an angel. I'm getting someone with the wings of an angel, whether or not they're an actual angel, who is going to be using a cup, maybe their cup, to fill up a bunch of other people's cups in need. And we have a small tree compared to a big tree, like a very, very young, tiny, small tree. Okay. We have, this person has a body and there's like a lot of spiky things and something glowing in the background. So I'm getting a chaotic, jealous, or envious being is trying to alter something to be as it should not. They're very quiet. Someone is in the background, all these things, all these forces around them. Looks like there's like so ridiculously many forces trying to alter them to make them less loved or less desired. Or some of them are less altered, but some of them are trying to make them not as loved or not as desired. A bearded man in blue underwear is going for a red rose, not a blue rose. And it looks like they've got a bunch of defense behind them, but there are also many spears and torches in front of them. So they have some things backing them up like a solid structural wall behind them, but it's not very impossible to break, like people with Rice Healer Army or knowledge could break this defensive back they've got as well. And then we have a singular person sitting who is loved, cherished, and cared about. This person could be holding something or hiding a great secret. Okay, and these people are trying to get people to release their love and release their energy and release it into the universe through manipulation and tricking it. And they're trying to draw in all this love and manipulation, love through manipulation, love and manipulation, love through manipulation, and trying to make it into their own, to pull it upon themselves so that they can try to embody something they are not. We have two swords crossed, or two stars crossed, but I'm getting two swords crossed in the mouth, so there are two swords or two things crossed around a witchcraft or a witch being that is making something. There might be something standing right beside or right around someone, making them look as they do not appear. So someone's trying to use some witchcraft to do some witchcraft, but it's fake witchcraft to steal things from someone. Someone could be doing this to try to make someone appear as they don't look. So there could be many options for this. There could be like making someone think that something looks as it is not, so they can just go and do this and people think it was them the whole time, or so that they can switch it out. So like this robe, getting this robe, they could be pretending the robe or this or that looks like it isn't, so they can switch it out and make people think it was them the whole time. They could be trying to make this person think with subtle changes day by day, they're looking slightly different, so no one questions when they switch it out and steal what was theirs, and they just switch out theirs for theirs, so that they wouldn't question that they look like someone else's, or what someone else is or has what is, as well. Okay. I'm getting a very colourful tree, a tree adorned with cherries, a cherry tree in autumn. We have some poles and towers based around it, two opposing towers, two groups of two opposing towers, and two birds face inwards, ever watchful gaze at each other. And we have a symbol in the middle of what honor means. And one of these beings is trying to control energies. Okay, and someone could be wearing jeans, a blonde curly haired woman, a car, a black car, a door, a darker skinned woman in the car and out of the car and in the car, and something that was seen or known and seen that had already been predicted and already been accounted for and already been taken care of. Someone doesn't realize. getting something based around a trauma or tragedy that happened at a yellow house as well. A house that has yellow this, yellow that. Like a very traumatic and tragic situation or circumstance at like a yellow house, maybe? I don't know. I don't know where the fuck I put my quartz spear. I think it's in the other room, but yeah, it's too late to do things, but I'm doing this. Here are some of the bad vibes. Okay, yeah, I don't think that I have my quartz spear here to look into it. Oh, I'm gonna pause this for a second. Okay, I'm here in my incredibly messy room. But let's see. This is not the best position to do it from. Okay. So, back again to a forest. I can't particularly describe forest very well. There are some trees. I'm not sure what native trees these are. Underneath them, looks like there's gas buried underneath these trees. Okay, so I think that symbol means an eclipse, but I'm getting a cycle of guns, blood, and violence over a gas buried there. I'm seeing the letter D, like Da Vinci, or or Devonshi. Okay, a cloaked man sitting in the field with his hands behind his back. I'm not sure if they're tied or not. And like a white, he's got like a white one with these kind of weird patterns on the front. Okay, back to this gas filled mountain. A fire and a giant centipede thing with a face that looks kind of like a spider or like a death mask centipede face. It'd be good if I could get some more insightful things. Maybe I should be drawing this shit down. But I lost my artistic skill that I practiced and trained as well when I lost all these other things. Okay. I'm seeing a tower and then see two people talk in front of a gravestone. There's a big, like a mound with a gravestone cross on it, a mound with a cross on it. Two people talking on the way east from a tree. And in the horizon is another cross and an elderly woman with her finger pointed. Okay, and I'm getting a sword, a very thin sword, kind of like a rapier or a sword. The sword. Maybe this is a sword in a dirt mound? In a pile of dirt. Okay, and then, with being here quite hard to see, there's an egg that looks like a stone, and a mountain, or maybe it's a woman that looks like a mountain. A woman in a cloak, reading a book, and they know she sees. Um, and there's an egg there, and I'm seeing a raven. Okay, and then we have a kind of like a mountain or castle with a figure with a coat on the side looking up, standing up at it, looking at something towering behind it. And we have an egg that's cocooned with like butterfly wings around it, so it's like maybe an egg cocoon. Okay. A man in a white mask with symbols, kind of like some weird Naruto looking stuff. Um, okay, a man in glasses with a very sharp chin and some scruffy puffy hair. An oasis with two. It looks like there could be four people, but two people. Two people there and two people not. Okay, and we have again this kind of like Alcatraz, Alpha Azkaban looking shit with like a giant mushroom growing off the side of it, and none of this is very interesting or insightful. Ooh, a brown ones are different, rare. They're most unique of this. They're like kind of like the unique looking rare ones of this psychic, this ball. I can't make out what it is though. And okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. An eight-tailed being is walking through a forest, trying to find a leaf or trying to find a feather, or something or someone. There's a book with a, I can't tell what that symbol is. Kind of like a half sun with some lines next to it on or involved in this. So like a half sun, a half child. Okay, an upside down tree seen upside down. A chair with a very slim man in front of it. And a woman with a ball of weather manipulating it. I don't know, she might be able to, let's see, does it tell me if she can do that naturally, if it's hers or not? It could be, not only one person can do this. It's not like just one person is gifted the ability to control this naturally as they should. Okay. And a man or something apparating. It looks like perhaps someone in armor, or perhaps a wild wolf. A wolf standing like a man with, I can't tell if it's armor or if the lower half is like a, more like a goat and the upper half like a wolf. But the lower half is darker, maybe it's like flaking armor fur, or maybe the upper half is like a wolf, and the lower half is like a goat. And then we have something that looks like a clam or appears to be a clam, a secret entrance somewhere hidden behind a clam that only certain people know how to get or go to access, as long as the clam doesn't eat you when you die. And then an owl and a poppet sitting with a stone circle around them, an owl in the center. One of the pillars in this like headstone thing has fallen down, like, you know, like those Roman ones with all the poles around, one of them has fallen down. shard of a blue crystal, and a wasp or bee looking woman. Well, it's very uneventfully boring. Should really be doing this. I wanted to do the other ones, but it's way too late at night to be doing that. Yeah. It's a little shelf. I got my stones and stuff around my room right now. Hold on. Let's try to do this. Yeah, that was interesting, uneventful, and insightful. The messy house lounge room I gotta clean tomorrow after I go do some things with some checkups, make sure everything's right, because, yeah, peace.